Okay, so when we get to this stage, we've got our variables. I've got our plans and just put them in comments. So we're actually going to look at that and do a bit at a time. So my variables, I know they're variables because in my plan they're capital letters. So name, current year, birth year, age are there. I'm also going to put a message to display stuff, perhaps. So I'll put it there just in case I want to use it at some stage. Okay, we have three functions, one called get details, one called calc birth year, one called show details, and they will just run down here. So there's no actual function to run them, it's just go and do this, go and do this, go and do this. Okay. My first job in this function is this bit here. So how do I ask and store something in the name variable? Anyone? 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 Yes, Tom?
Do you need to do an input in HTML?
No. We're just going to go name. How do I ask someone a question? What type of variable are we going to? We're going to get words, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, no words.
So do we need pass int or pass float?
No pass.
No, ints for whole numbers. Okay, we're just getting plain old text, so we don't have to do any of that rubbish. So it's just a prompt. Please enter your name. Okay? Okay, whatever they type in will get stored in there. How do I ask for the current year?
Prompt.
So we're going to put it in current year. Okay, what type of variable? So this is going to be a number, isn't it?
Pass int.
Why not pass float?
Because you can't have decimal digits.
Okay, then we have our prompt. And we say, please enter the current year. Okay, will that do those two jobs? Okay, it's done. If we want to, we can go and have a quick look, see if it's actually working. So we don't get any fancy things on the screen other than, hopefully, it asks for our name, we put in a name, asks for our year, and it is 2018, and we go okay, and that's all it's doing. So it seems to be working at the moment, which is good. Okay, our next bit, we're now doing this one called calc birth year, which I've started down here. Okay, we're going to have a loop that asks for someone's age. What type of loop are we going to use? So we have three choices. We have a for loop, a do while, or a while. Which one are we going to use? Do while. Why? You have chosen well. Yeah, we're going to get them to do something first. So we're going to do this stuff while something, okay? What are we going to actually do?
Put up a prompt asking for the age.
So we're going to, and this is where we get into here, so we're going to ask and read that age. So I'm going to use my age variable. How did we ask for a whole number last time?
Pass int.
Okay, so pass int. Remember, pass int gets you whole numbers. Then a prompt. How old will you turn? And then if we want to be a bit fancy, we can actually put the variable in there. Like that.
Like made that change in the exam later on.
No. If you don't put that, if you just put how old will you turn this year, that's fine. But if you want to be a little bit fancy, it will actually say how old will you turn in a space and then current year. So we've got the variable there, we may as well use it. Okay, that's done. If the age is, so those two lines are done by that thing there. So we've got our age variable. How do we then, it's got the word if. What are ifs used for? Checking things. So how do we check if it's right? So if it's between less than 0, we're not going to like it, obviously. If it is greater than 125, because I think the oldest anyone's ever got is about 122 or 3. So if it's beyond that, it'll be good. So which numbers don't we like?
Anything below 1.
So if age is less than 0, or, remember or is the sticks, If age is greater than 125, we're not going to like it, so we're going to do something. So don't forget they're the curly bracket things.
You prompted it say please try that now.
We'll put another prompt there. And we're going to do exactly what we did here. Well, that's going to be there. We'll just shove a little alert there and say the age must be between 0 and 125 inclusive. So it's just a little error message. We want to keep them stuck in here asking them this question until what happens?
So the statement is correct.
So while age is incorrect, so these two bits will match each other exactly. Okay. So while the age is less than 0, so while they're giving you a number that's too small or a number that's too big, we're going to come back up here. Remember, this is true, so if either of those happens, it's true. It's going to come back up here and say, ask you the question again. If you keep saying my age is 400, it will say, well, 400 is bigger than that, so this is true, so I'm going to come and ask them again. It's pretty simple. That thing there and that thing there match each other exactly, okay? Because if it's true, it does the alert and it does the loop again. Okay, once they've got the loop done, what happens next? So we're up to here until age is between there and there. Then we've got to calculate their birth year. So in other words, they've given us a number that's valid. How do we then calculate their birth year?
Take it away from the current. Take the age away.
Yep, so we get the current year, take away the age, and it will work it out. So you blokes, it's 2018, most of you will turn 16 this year, is that correct? Yep. So most of you were born in 2002. Okay, so that's that bit there. Can you see how our plan and our code are almost, they're like mirror images of each other. And because we understand JavaScript to a degree, we can look at that and do bits to it. The last bit, we need to show some information. I'm going to be a little bit fancy and put it into a variable called message. Okay. And say something like, you were born in, or we'll make it a bit nicer, in, okay, and this is where it gets a little bit weird. So in current year, being, hang on, I've got a better way. So we'll say turning whatever 16 in 2018 means you were born in okay, so that's our message. So turning 16 in 2018 means you were born in, and it will spit out birth year, which is 2002 for you fellas. Okay, how do I display that message on the screen very easily? Yep.
Oh, real quick, don't you need to display the name too?
Oh, not really. You could put name there. So I'll shove name there.
So you can just go on alerts. Oh wait, no.
Okay, I'm going to put a name and message. I've just got to fix my message up because I did say I'm going to put name in my thing. So I might shove the name at the front. So it'll say something like, Fred, you turned 16 in 23, which means you were born in blah, blah, blah. So now we've got all our bits in there, we've got our little alert in there. Let's kick it in the guts and see what we get. Righto, so your name, so old mate's Fred, the current year is 2018, Fred is turning 16. What do we expect to happen when I hit OK?
It pops up with a message.
Our message should come up. So, Nan, you were 16 in that. What's Nan mean?
grandma. Like
It means no number. So something in our little thing about name has gone crackers. I think I know what it is. Probably. That's the usual. Okay, I think it's that bit there. I had a plus sign at the front. So we'll just very quickly have another crack at it. So Fred, 2018, 16, and there you go. Fred, you turned 16 in blah blah, which means you were born in that. Magical program. One of our best. So we haven't really needed to go into HTML at all, other than to link it so it runs. Okay, any questions? Good on you. Okay, so we're just using prompts and alerts. In your exam, if you're doing a little program like that, you can just use prompts and alerts.
Is there anything that will say specifically to use HTML?
Yeah, some bits will say send this back to from JavaScript to HTML, but that'll be nice and clear. Out of interest, if we wanted to send that back to HTML, how are we going to do it? Okay, so if we were actually sending it to HTML, assuming we have a place called message here in our HTML, it would document.get element by ID, the place. Don't forget in a HTML to send it from JavaScript to HTML. And we just use the message. By using a variable called message, it's just much tidier to send things. So you can alert it really easily. You can send it back to JavaScript, to HTML really easily. It's just a tidier way to operate. Questions, fellas? Okay.